Proverbs 23:22 says, "Hearken unto thy father that begat thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old." It is probably obvious to most how that this proverb should also remind us of the commandment in Exodus 20:12, "Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee." I can't imagine anyone having to be told not to despise their mother when she is old. Both of my grandmothers were the sweetest, most loving people I've ever known, as well as my own mother. And she's entering her 80s now and is sweet as ever. So who could this proverb be speaking to? Well, I think one example can be seen when you enter the assisted living and nursing homes. I've seen it many times through the years. It can be old men or women, but most of the time it's been elderly women sitting around in their room with no visitors. I'm sure if you asked the ladies' children, they wouldn't say, "Yes, we despise our mother." But in reality, that's what they're doing because she feels despised. I remember one lady who had been in the assisted living home that I was ministering in, and she'd been there for years, and the only time she saw her family was for short visits during Christmas and Easter. They'd go to church on Easter and then come by for a few minutes after, and then months later they'd show up for a few minutes, usually a few days before Christmas. And I was there for one of those Christmas visits, and that lady said very little, the look of sadness on her face. Her family was all smiles and giving her little gifts and taking pictures, but that lady could barely fake a smile. And instead of recognizing the reason for the long face on their mother and the grandkids on their grandmother, they just rolled their eyes and acted like she was the one being ridiculous. And I could tell other stories, like the brother and sister who came for monthly visits, and then when they left, their mother said to me, "You know, they're just waiting for me to die so they can get the money my husband left me." Just sad. I could never treat my mother like that, and I hope that you're thinking the same thing as you listen to stories like those. When we think about our mothers and what they've done for us, beginning with the 9 months where we used them as a mobile home, and all the care that they put into raising us for nearly 2 decades. And if your mom's like mine, she's never stopped praying for me. She's done so much over the years, 4 decades or so since I moved out. To say, "Despise not thy mother when she is old," is just to put it lightly, really. We ought to make sure that she knows that we love her. And again, if your mom is like mine, she doesn't ask for much, a phone call, a visit from time to time. In her delicate state, she's been living with my sister and now with my brother, both living several states away, so my visits have been less frequent. But she is loved and taken care of. And you may recall, Jesus provided the example as he hung on the cross and made sure that his mother was entrusted to the care of the Apostle John, called the Apostle whom Christ loved, and he is referred to as John the Beloved. And that's recorded in John 19:27. Jesus, again, on the cross, looks down and says, "Then saith he to the disciple," speaking of John, "Behold thy mother." And from that hour, that disciple took her into his own home. We can't always be hands-on. Jesus was dying on the cross. He rose again, and then 40 days later ascended to heaven. So he left his mother in the care of someone he knew would take care of her. And that's the main thing. We can make sure that our mothers don't feel despised or neglected, and make sure they're in good hands. And on my part, and I hope on yours, the best part is knowing that my mom is saved. My mother is my sister in Christ. We have an eternity to look forward to in the presence of Jesus, with God the Father, in the glory of his Spirit, surrounded by the holy angels and untold numbers of other saints. And of course, that includes my dad and her husband and all the other saved loved ones. Won't it be glory?